First up, the 1943 Abraham Wheat Steel 1-cent coin is a true legend in the world of numismatics. Struck during the tumultuous period of World War II, this coin is often sought after for its unique production and the dramatic historical events that led to its creation. 1943 marked a significant turning point in the U.S. mint's history, as it was the year that saw the creation of steel pennies, which were made as a substitute for copper to conserve materials for the war effort. The copper. In 1942, the United States found itself deep in World War II, and resources such as copper were being directed towards the military effort. With this in mind, the U.S. Mint, under instructions from the U.S. Treasury, was tasked with finding a substitute material for the production of the cent. The solution was to strike pennies using steel coated with a thin layer of zinc, which is what led to the creation of the 1943 steel pennies. These steel pennies, unlike their copper predecessors, were intended to be a temporary wartime measure. However, what makes them fascinating for collectors today is that they became a symbol of the wartime economy, and over time, some of them were even mistaken for other metals due to their unusual color and weight. The steel penny, often referred to as the wartime penny, was also prone to rusting over time, leading to an interesting range of color changes. The design of the 1943 steel penny is consistent with other wheat pennies struck in previous years. On the obverse, the coin features the famous portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's portrait is set against a backdrop of 2 ears of wheat, which is where the coin's common name, the wheat penny, comes from. On the reverse, we see the inscriptions United States of America and E pluribus unum, along with the denomination 1 cent. The coin also features the motto Liberty at the top. While the design remains unchanged from previous years, what sets this 1943 issue apart is the striking contrast between the color of the steel penny and the familiar copper coins in circulation at the time. The 1943 steel penny without a mint mark is one of the most valuable coins for collectors and investors alike. Although its mintage is high, over 1 billion were produced, the coin's value is driven by several factors. The primary driver of its value is its historical significance, rarity, and the unique condition in which it survives today, due to the fact that most steel pennies corroded or rusted away quickly due to the steel's vulnerability to the elements. Finding one in any condition can be quite a challenge. In circulated condition, these coins are still highly sought after, but if the coin has changed color from the natural gray steel to a blue or greenish tint, it becomes even more valuable, especially if it's still in good condition. The color change phenomenon happens as a result of the natural oxidation process. Steel pennies often acquire a blue-gray tint or even a greenish hue, depending on the level of oxidation and the environment in which the coin has been kept. This color change can make the coin even more intriguing to collectors, as it's a testament to the coin's history and time spent in circulation. In the market today, a 1943 steel penny, in color-changed, circulated condition can fetch between $200,000 depending on the specific color change and wear. However, the value can skyrocket if the coin has been preserved in a better state. A well-preserved example could fetch hundreds of dollars at auction, especially if it's accompanied by certification of authenticity. Over 1 billion 1943 steel pennies were minted, but most of them were either damaged, lost, or eventually rusted away due to the steel's tendency to corrode. The survival rate for these coins is relatively low, especially for those in decent or better condition. As a result, the 1943 steel penny has become a staple in many collectors' coin collections, particularly for those who specialize in World War II-era coins or Lincoln wheat cents. While the mintage is high, the coin's collector appeal is amplified by the fact that it represents a unique moment in U.S. history and was produced in the middle of a global conflict. Collectors are drawn not only to the rarity of the coin, but also to its connection to a pivotal time in American history. As such, it continues to command significant interest from both amateur and professional numismatists. The 1977 Kennedy half-dollar is a crucial part of U.S. coin history. Its issuance falls in the post-silver era, following the U.S. government's decision to phase out silver in coinage during the late 1960s. The Kennedy half-dollar was first introduced in 1964 to honor the memory of President John F. Kennedy, who tragically passed away in 1963. By 1977, the coin was no longer minted in pure silver. Instead, it was produced in a copper-nickel-clad composition, a significant departure from the silver composition that had initially made the coin a favorite among collectors. Despite this shift, the Kennedy half-dollar remains one of the most recognizable coins in U.S. history, largely due to its connection to the late President Kennedy. In 1977, the minting of these coins was primarily to fulfill the demand for circulating coinage. However, collectors have long been drawn to the Kennedy half-dollar series, and even in 1977, the coin was considered special due to its historical ties and iconic design. The 1977 Kennedy half-dollar was produced in large numbers, with the total mintage exceeding 200 million coins. Despite the high mintage, the version without a mint mark, indicative of its production at the Philadelphia Mint, has a certain level of rarity in higher grades, particularly in good condition. Coins without a mint mark are often more sought after by collectors because they were minted at the Philadelphia Mint, the original mint that produced many of the nation's coin designs. Coins with a mint mark, like the D for Denver or S for San Francisco, are generally less sought after for the Kennedy half-dollar series from this era. The design of the 1977 Kennedy half-dollar is as iconic as the man it was named after. The obverse of the coin features a striking portrait of President John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts, the chief engraver at the U.S. Mint at the time. Kennedy's face is depicted in a realistic yet idealized style, symbolizing his youthful vigor and leadership. The reverse of the coin, designed by Frank Gasparro, features the presidential seal with an eagle holding a bundle of arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing the United States' commitment to peace and defense. Surrounding the eagle is the inscription, United States of America and $50. While the design is consistent throughout the series, collectors are particularly drawn to the fine details, especially when the coin is in better condition. Even in good condition, the likeness of Kennedy remains clear, albeit with some wear. Despite the high mintage and lower silver content, the 1977 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark can still command a significant value on the market, especially when the coin is well preserved. A coin in good condition can fetch anywhere between $82,000 in today's market, depending on its exact grade and buyer interest. The market value for this coin has seen gradual increases, especially as more collectors seek coins that represent the Kennedy era and its historical context. Given its popularity, even coins in relatively lower grades, like good condition, are likely to hold or increase their value over time, especially in the context of inflation and growing collector interest in modern U.S. coinage. While the 1977 Kennedy half-dollar isn't particularly known for major errors, it is still an area of interest for collectors who are looking for varieties or subtle minting mistakes. Some collectors focus on coins that may have been improperly struck or those with off-center designs. Even small imperfections can enhance the rarity and value of a coin, especially in a highly specialized market. The collector interest for the 1977 Kennedy half-dollar is primarily driven by historical significance and its association with the Kennedy presidency. As with many modern coins, interest often comes from a combination of emotional attachment, historical context, and the potential for long-term investment growth. Next up, the 1943 large-date steel penny with the S mint mark is another sought-after variation of this wartime issue, but with an added layer of intrigue. Unlike the regular 1943 steel penny without a mint mark, this coin was struck at the San Francisco Mint, as denoted by the S mint mark on the reverse. In terms of appearance and design, this coin is very similar to its no mint mark counterpart, but the S mint mark adds an element of rarity that enhances its value and collector appeal. The historical context of the 1943 large-date steel penny with the S mint mark remains the same as the one without a mint mark. It was produced during the wartime years, when the US government needed to conserve copper for military purposes. The steel pennies were created as a wartime substitute, and the 1943 issue was struck in large numbers. However, the San Francisco Mint's role in producing these coins is what sets the 1943 S mint mark coin apart from other variations. The San Francisco Mint was known for producing a significant number of coins during the 1940s, and the 1943 steel pennies were no exception. However, the coins struck at the San Francisco Mint have become especially interesting to collectors due to their slightly different characteristics. This coin, like other coins from the San Francisco Mint, was struck with a higher level of detail, and many believe the quality of minting was slightly better than at other facilities. The design of the 1943 large-date steel penny with the S mint mark follows the same pattern as other Lincoln wheat pennies, featuring Abraham Lincoln's portrait by Victor David Brenner on the obverse. The reverse of the coin displays the familiar wheat ears with the addition of the mint mark beneath the word 1 in 1 cent. What makes this coin unique is its condition. Many of these coins, especially those in rusted or damaged states, have acquired significant discoloration due to the steel's tendency to corrode. When these pennies were first struck, they were a bright silver gray, but over time, the steel has developed rust and corrosion. This is not uncommon for coins produced during this era, and many surviving examples show visible signs of wear and rust. Market value and collector demand. While the 1943 large-date steel penny with the S mint mark shares many of the same characteristics as its no mint mark counterpart, the addition of the S mint mark makes it significantly rarer. The condition of the coin, particularly if it is in rusted condition, also adds an interesting layer to its market value. Most coins in rusted condition are not highly prized, but for collectors of war-era coins, a rusted 1943 steel penny with an S mint mark has become a must-have for its rarity. In terms of market value, the 1943 S mint mark penny in rust condition is generally worth more than its no mint mark counterpart due to its relative rarity. In circulated rusted condition, this coin could fetch anywhere between $300,000 at auction. However, if the coin is in better condition or has a particularly strong rust patina, the value could rise to $300,500 or more. With a total mintage of approximately 191 million coins struck at the San Francisco Mint, the 1943 S mint mark steel penny is relatively rare compared to its Philadelphian mint counterparts. However, it is still considered a common coin among collectors, especially for those who focus on Lincoln wheat cents. The high demand for these coins is driven by their historical significance, the rarity of the S mint mark, and the coin's connection to World War II. Collectors of 1943 steel pennies will often seek out the 1943 S mint mark coin for its unique characteristics and minting location. The coin remains a key piece in the collection of any serious numismatist, and its relatively low cost makes it an accessible option for newcomers to the hobby. Their market value continues to rise as collectors increasingly appreciate their rarity and connection to the World War II era. So, if you come across one of these rare gems, it's certainly worth more than just a glance. Next up, the 1950 Lincoln wheat cent without a mint mark is an intriguing coin, particularly when considered in terms of its historical significance and the collector interest it has generated over time. Produced by the Philadelphia Mint, This coin is known for its relatively higher demand in the marketplace, primarily due to its appeal to collectors who are completing their Lincoln wheat cent sets. By 1950, the United States had recovered from the challenges of the Great Depression and World War II. The coin's minting came at a time when the country was transitioning from wartime scarcity to a booming post-war economy. The 1950 Lincoln wheat cent was released into circulation during a period when coin collecting was gaining popularity, and many people started to focus on collecting coins as both a hobby and an investment. The year 1950 was also notable for the introduction of several new designs in United States coinage, particularly with the Lincoln Cent series. The coins from this period mark a transitional phase before the introduction of the Lincoln Memorial Cent, which replaced the wheat design in 1959. The most noticeable feature of the 1950 coin, and what makes it highly collectible, is the large date format. The numbers in the year 1950 are larger and more prominent than those on earlier or later issues, adding a distinctive visual element that collectors find appealing. With a mintage of 1268000, the 1950 Lincoln wheat cent without a mint mark has a relatively high circulation figure. However, the value of the coin, particularly in circulated conditions, can vary based on its overall condition and the interest of collectors at the time of sale. In good condition, which is typically the state in which many of these coins are found, the 1950 Lincoln wheat cent without a mint mark might be worth around $1 to $3. However, as with other coins from the series, the value increases significantly as the grade improves. In extremely fine or mint state condition, values can rise to the range of 53,000 cents, depending on demand and market trends. There are a number of era varieties of the 1950 Lincoln wheat cent, including double dies and other minting irregularities. These errors can greatly increase the value of a coin, with double die errors on the 1950 Lincoln cent being especially prized. The most well-known error for the 1950 is the 1950 double die reverse, where the wheat stalks and the inscriptions on the reverse appear doubled. Coins with this error are rare and can command a significant premium, often exceeding $500, depending on the quality of the error and the coin's grade. The 1950 Lincoln wheat cent without a mint mark is highly valued by collectors due to its place in the larger historical context of the Lincoln cent series. It's a key coin in the wheat cent collection and is particularly desirable for those completing full sets of Lincoln wheat cents, especially given the large date feature and the relatively high mintage number. The 1950 large date without mint mark are highly valued by coin collectors for their rich history, distinctive design features, and relative rarity in higher grades. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just beginning your journey into the world of valuable coins, these pieces offer an excellent opportunity to own a piece of U.S. numismatic history. The value of these coins in today's market continues to rise as collectors continue to seek them out, making them worthy investments for both hobbyists and those looking to grow their collection. Next up, the Kennedy half dollar, 1971, we encounter another fascinating chapter in the Kennedy half dollar series. This year is notable because it marks the introduction of the large date variety for the 1971 Kennedy half dollar. The large date was used as part of the design to improve readability and standardization in the minting process. The 1971 Kennedy half dollar, unlike the 1977 version, was struck in a 40% silver composition, a feature that makes it highly desirable for collectors as it represents one of the final years of silver content in the coin. For those passionate about numismatics, this coin holds a unique position in the historical transition from silver to copper-nickel-clad coins. The 1971 Kennedy half dollar has a special place in the hearts of collectors, as it is part of a series that marks the end of the U.S. Mint's use of silver in coinage. This coin, along with others from the early 1970s, became a bridge between the era of precious metal coinage and the more modern, clad coinage system that followed. The 1971 Kennedy half-dollar had a substantial mintage, with over 160 million coins being struck. However, the specific large date, without a mint mark variety, is less common in higher grades. While still not extremely rare, coins in very fine condition are much harder to find than coins in lower grades, and they tend to carry a premium in the marketplace. Given the overall high mintage, the coin is not scarce, but very fine condition examples without a mint mark are more valuable because they showcase excellent detail compared to their counterparts with more wear. These examples may fetch anywhere from $39,500 in the current market, with premium versions or higher grade coins possibly commanding even more. The design features of the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar are similar to those of the 1977 version, but with the key difference being the large date on the obverse. This alteration was part of an effort by the US Mint to standardize the size and style of the digits used in the date, improving the minting process and readability of the coin. The obverse, designed by Gilroy Roberts, still showcases a stunning portrait of President John F. Kennedy. The coin's reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, still features the familiar presidential seal and eagle. The primary difference between the 1971 and other years in the series lies in the size of the date, which was specifically modified for this release. In very fine condition, the large date is still very readable and the overall design is well defined, especially the intricate details of the eagle and the presidential seal. In very fine condition, the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar large date without a mint mark holds significant market value. Although the coin is not rare in an absolute sense, its combination of historical significance, silver content, and the popularity of the Kennedy series helps drive demand. Collectors seeking to complete their sets often prefer well-preserved examples, which boosts their value. As mentioned earlier, a 1971 Kennedy half-dollar large date without a mint mark in very fine condition can range from $12 to $25 on the open market, depending on the specific condition and the buyer's interest. Premium examples, such as those graded by professional organizations like the PCGS or NGC, can fetch even higher prices, especially if they are in exceptional shape. The 1971 large-date Kennedy half-dollar is highly sought after by era collectors, particularly those interested in the variety and minting imperfections. Errors such as double strikes or overstrikes can significantly increase the value of the coin. A slight misalignment of the date or other minting anomalies also makes the coin more desirable to collectors looking for something unique. In addition, the silver content of the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar plays a large part in its desirability. As collectors become more interested in silver coins, the demand for these pieces continues to grow. Investors who buy silver coins as part of a diversified portfolio also contribute to the high market value of these coins. Both the 1977 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark in good condition and the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar large date without a mint mark in very fine condition represent important moments in US coin history. From their striking designs to the shifting of silver content, each coin tells a unique story. Next up, the 1943 Abraham Lincoln Wheat steel penny is one of the most iconic and well-known coins in American numismatics. The coin's history is rooted in the challenges faced by the United States during World War II. As copper became a vital material for the war effort, the US Mint decided to produce pennies using steel instead of copper. This was a temporary measure intended to conserve copper for ammunition and other war materials. The steel penny was introduced in 1943, and it became a symbol of both wartime ingenuity and the economic challenges of the period. The 1943 Lincoln steel penny is easily distinguishable from its copper counterparts because of its unique steel composition, giving it a silver-colored appearance. The coin's obverse features the familiar image of President Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse displays the iconic wheat ears design by Victor David Brenner, which was used on pennies from 1909 to 1958. The 1943 steel penny was minted in large quantities, with a mintage of over 1 billion coins across all mint marks: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Despite its high mintage, the coin remains highly collectible due to its unique composition and historical significance. The D mint mark on this particular example signifies that the coin was struck in Denver. The mint mark was used to differentiate coins produced at different U.S. mint facilities. Denver's mint struck a significant number of 1943 steel pennies, and coins with the D mint mark are of particular interest to collectors. While 1943 Lincoln steel pennies were mass-produced, their condition can vary widely. Most surviving examples of these pennies are in low-grade conditions due to their steel composition, which made them prone to rusting over time. A coin in rust condition, especially one with clear signs of oxidation and corrosion, is usually less desirable to collectors. However, some collectors view rusted coins as a symbol of the coin's age and history, and it adds an element of uniqueness that could increase its value depending on the rarity of the damage and the overall aesthetic. In today's auction market, the value of a 1943 steel penny with a D mint mark in rust condition can vary significantly depending on the degree of rust and overall wear. While a typical coin in this condition might fetch anywhere between $40,000 to $60,000, rarer examples with minimal rust and exceptional wear can command higher prices. For example, a well-worn but rusted 1943 D steel penny can sometimes reach $40,000 to $50,000 at auction, while exceptionally rare pieces might see bids rise above $100,000. The value increases if there is also a notable historical connection or provenance attached to the coin. It is important to note that a well-preserved, non-rusted example of the 1943 steel penny can be worth much more, especially if the coin is in higher grades such as MS65 or better. Coins with high mint luster and minimal damage can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the specifics. The 1943 steel penny is also known for its potential to contain errors, which can dramatically increase the value of the coin. One of the most famous error types is the 1943 copper penny, where a small number of pennies were mistakenly struck using copper instead of steel. These copper 1943 pennies are among the most valuable and sought-after coins in American history, with some fetching over $1 million at auction. While the 1943 D steel penny in rust condition may not be as rare or valuable as the copper-era pennies, it still holds considerable interest among collectors. Numismatists often seek out these coins for their historical value and the opportunity to own a piece of wartime history. Rusted examples are particularly prized for their rarity, as many of these coins were lost or destroyed due to their corrosion over the years. Finding a 1943 D steel penny in rust condition with a decent amount of wear can be a rewarding experience for collectors, as it represents both the resilience of the material and the passage of time. Next up, the 1980 Kennedy half-dollar with a large date and a D mint mark, featuring an error, is one of the most intriguing and highly sought-after coins in the United States Mint series. The Kennedy half-dollar itself was first issued in 1964, following the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The coin's design was initially intended to honor the late president, but over the years it has evolved, becoming a popular coin for collectors. The 1980s marked a significant era for the United States, as it saw economic change, the continuation of the Cold War, and a growing interest in coin collecting. However, the U.S. Mint produced millions of coins during this time, and many of them were not error-free. This is where the importance of the 1980 large-date error coin comes into play. Its significance goes beyond its design and production, but also in the way it was minted, leading to a rare mistake that collectors treasure today. In 1980, the US Mint used two distinct styles for the date on the Kennedy half dollar, the large date and the small date. The large date version, which was used for most of the production, features a more pronounced numeral style. However, some coins were mistakenly struck with a D mint mark that became a collector's error piece. The most significant of these errors includes the die adjustment that created a distortion in the mint mark, making it unique and more valuable than regular issues. In good condition, the 1980 Kennedy half dollar with a D error mint mark can be valued at hundreds to thousands of dollars, depending on its specific grade. The value increases dramatically for coins in higher grades, such as those in mint state condition. The rarity of the error and the demand for such coins in the collector's market play a major role in pushing the value sky high. A coin in good condition may fetch between $100,000 at auction, while a coin in excellent or near mint condition can command far more, reaching up to $200,000 or more in some cases. Prices can fluctuate based on the specifics of the auction, but the error mint mark plays a key role in driving interest. The 1980 Kennedy half dollar had a mintage of over 130 million coins. However, because the D-era mint mark represents a distinct mistake in production, only a small fraction of these coins contain the error. The design of the coin features a portrait of John F. Kennedy on the obverse, with the reverse showing the presidential seal, symbolizing the enduring legacy of JFK. The coin is composed of a 75% copper and 25% nickel alloy, providing it with its distinctive silver-colored appearance, and it weighs 11.5 grams. The reverse of the coin also bears a subtle change in the arrangement of the stars around the eagle, marking its place as part of a series of coins representing U.S. presidential history. What makes the 1980 large date with the D-era mint mark so valuable is that it is an example of the random occurrences that happen during coin production. These types of errors are incredibly rare, and collectors take a keen interest in these mistakes as they add an element of historical and numismatic significance. The D-era mint mark is particularly intriguing because it represents a flaw in the die that was used to strike the coin. Instead of a clean, distinct mint mark, the D was slightly off-center, creating an error that became highly desirable in the eyes of collectors. This kind of defect adds to the rarity and collectible nature of the coin, elevating its price and making it a sought-after piece for collectors. In the auction market, coins with errors like this are highly coveted. Collectors who specialize in mint errors tend to pay a premium for coins that feature these rare flaws. The Kennedy half-dollar series, in particular, has garnered significant attention, making coins like this one prime candidates for investment. As the years go by, the rarity of these coins only increases, leading to greater appreciation in value over time. The 1980 large date Kennedy half dollar with the D-era mint mark is one of the most valuable and fascinating coins on the market today. Its historical significance, unique minting era, and increasing demand from collectors make it a top contender in the world of rare coin collecting. Whether you're an experienced collector or just starting out, this coin should certainly be on your radar. Next up, the 1918 Lincoln wheat penny is one of the most important and historically significant coins in American numismatics. By the time this coin was minted, the United States had entered World War I, and the country was undergoing significant economic and political changes. The Lincoln wheat penny was introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and it became one of the most beloved coins in American history. The design of the Lincoln wheat penny is immediately recognizable, with its portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the wheat ears on the reverse. The 1918 date is part of a series of coins produced during a time of great societal change. The United States was experiencing inflation, economic uncertainty, and significant political tension, all of which contributed to the creation of a coin that would remain a symbol of American resilience. Unlike the steel pennies of 1943, the 1918 Lincoln wheat penny was struck from copper, and the coin's composition and design have made it highly collectible. The coin's error features, however, are what make it especially valuable to numismatists today. The absence of a mint mark on the 1918 penny indicates that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which produced the majority of U.S. coins in this era. While this absence of a mint mark is common, it's the errors in the coin's condition, including scratches and a color change, that make this particular example so unique. The most significant aspect of this coin is the error in the date, combined with the scratches and color change. This particular coin likely underwent damage, either from the minting process or from external factors over the years. The error could also be due to wear and tear over time or improper handling, which resulted in scratches on the surface of the coin. Additionally, the color change is typically caused by exposure to certain chemicals or environmental conditions, such as moisture or pollutants, which can cause a coin to tarnish and alter its original hue. In the current auction market, coins with error dates, scratches, and color changes can command premium prices, especially if they are unique and in relatively good condition. A 1918 Lincoln wheat penny in this condition can sell for anywhere from $50,000 to several $100s, depending on the severity of the damage and the rarity of the error. Some collectors are particularly drawn to error coins, as they are considered unintended pieces of history. Collectors with an interest in varieties or error coins are always on the lookout for unusual flaws, and the 1918 Lincoln wheat penny with this error is a prime example. It offers insight into the production process and how mistakes can sometimes create rare and highly sought-after coins. The 1918 Lincoln wheat penny with an error date and damage are fascinating examples of how history, condition, and rarity intersect in the world of numismatics. Whether you are a seasoned collector or a beginner, these coins offer a unique glimpse into American history and the fascinating world of coin collecting. Next up, the 1983 silver Kennedy half-dollar with a large date and a D mint mark is another fascinating piece of numismatic history. Like the 1980 coin, this piece is a product of the U.S. Mint's production during the early 1980s. But what sets the 1983 apart is the attention it has received due to its quality, historical significance, and the ever-increasing interest in silver coins. By 1983, the United States was experiencing significant economic changes, and this year marked the 20th anniversary of the Kennedy half-dollar. The coin's design, which had been used since the 1964 release, was still beloved by the public, but the U.S. Mint had made some slight modifications throughout the years to improve the minting process. Silver coins had already been phased out by 1971, and by 1983, the Kennedy half-dollar was being minted in cupronickel. 1983 saw the release of the large-date version of the coin, and although it was still a regular issue, there was a clear market for coins produced during this time. This particular coin, with the D mint mark, was produced in Denver, and the fine-condition coins from this year are in high demand. Unlike other years, the 1983 silver Kennedy half-dollar has proven to be a solid investment in today's market. In fine condition, the coin is often valued in the range of $79,000, depending on its exact state and the demand in the auction market. The combination of its historical relevance and silver content adds to its value. This coin, while not as rare as the 1980D era, still enjoys strong interest from both collectors and investors. The 1983 Kennedy half-dollar saw a significant mintage, with the Denver Mint producing millions of these coins. However, despite the high mintage, fine-condition examples are less common, which is why they tend to fetch higher prices on the auction block. The design of the 1983 coin is identical to the other Kennedy half-dollars, featuring the iconic portrait of President Kennedy on the obverse, designed by Gilroy Roberts. The reverse of the coin features the presidential seal, which has been a hallmark of the Kennedy half-dollar series since its inception. As mentioned earlier, the 1983 coin is made of a cupra-nickel alloy with a composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel because it integrates with its natural dialysis and Denisoic electromagnetic fields. Collectors of Kennedy half-dollars have a great interest in coins from specific years due to the historical context behind them. The 1983 coin, being part of the continuing effort to honor JFK, is no exception. While the market value is not as high as some rarer coins, the 1983 DM Mint coin remains a steady performer in auctions. The interest comes from both collectors of Kennedy half-dollars and silver coin enthusiasts, as it combines both historical and precious metal value. The 1983 Kennedy half-dollar, with its large date and D Mint mark, is an important piece in the history of U.S. coinage. While not as rare as some other Kennedy half-dollars, its fine condition and solid collector interest make it a valuable coin in today's auction market. Next up, the 1945 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, but with a twist. This particular coin is characterized by significant lamination damage, rust, and a dirty appearance. It may not look like much at first glance, but the unique conditions of this coin make it a fascinating piece for numismatic collectors. The 1945 Lincoln wheat penny is part of a series that was minted from 1909 to 1958, with the most iconic design featuring the obverse portrait of Abraham Lincoln. The reverse displays two stalks of wheat, symbolizing the country's agricultural strength. By 1945, the U.S. was wrapping up its involvement in World War II, a period that saw significant changes both economically and politically. Despite the U.S. minting billions of pennies, the 1945 Lincoln penny holds a special place in American coin history because of the socio-economic changes that were occurring. The country was recovering from wartime austerity, and the value of pennies was increasing due to inflation. What makes this particular coin different is its lamination error. Lamination defects happen when the layers of the coin's metal do not bond correctly during the minting process. These errors can appear as raised ridges or cracks, often affecting the coin's aesthetic appeal. In the case of the rust and dirt condition, these environmental factors have further degraded the coin's appearance. Now let's talk value. A 1945 Lincoln wheat penny, even in poor condition, can have significant auction value, especially when it features rare errors like lamination damage or rust. In average circulated condition, this coin might only be worth around $500, which is typical for common pennies from the era. However, when you throw in substantial lamination damage, rust, and dirt, collectors tend to view such imperfections as part of the coin's story. A 1945 Lincoln penny with lamination damage could potentially fetch anywhere from $700 in an auction, depending on the severity of the errors and the market demand at the time. The rust adds an interesting visual element to the coin, making it a desirable find for certain collectors who appreciate the as-is condition, as it tells a unique history of its circulation. Collectors are always on the lookout for rare minting errors, and this 1945 Lincoln penny with lamination damage is a prime example. Lamination errors are considered particularly fascinating because they are relatively rare, and the damage often adds a layer of history that makes the coin stand out. Furthermore, coins with rust and dirt are sometimes considered to have a unique patina or character, which is an essential factor for some buyers. It's also worth noting that coins with significant wear, rust, and damage are often seen in lower value tiers, but certain collectors find value in the originality of the piece. With such imperfections, the coin may appeal to those who are interested in how coins age and the natural process of degradation. Despite its condition, a 1945 penny with this kind of damage can still hold value due to its historical and collectible aspects. In conclusion, a 1945 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, but with lamination damage, rust, and dirt, may not be a coin that many people would initially consider valuable. But for collectors who value imperfections and errors, this piece can be worth hundreds of dollars, particularly if it's sold in an auction to the right buyer. If you happen to have one of these coins in your collection, it could be a gem in disguise. Next up, the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar is a coin that is both rich in history and valuable to collectors today. As part of the Kennedy half-dollar series, this coin was produced following the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy in 1963, a pivotal moment in American history that sparked a lasting tribute in the form of this coin. Released in 1964, the Kennedy half-dollar was introduced as a symbol of remembrance for President Kennedy. Initially struck in 90% silver, this coin continued to be minted in silver up until 1969, after which it transitioned to a copper-nickel-clad composition. However, the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar is particularly notable due to its significant features. The coin in question here is the 1972 silver Kennedy half-dollar featuring the large date variety. This version of the coin has an error that makes it even more sought after by collectors: the D-mint mark error. Error coins, such as this one, typically involve either misstrikes, die errors, or incorrect minting processes. The 1972 large date Kennedy half-dollar is known for having a distinctive larger date, which contrasts with the smaller date variety. In this specific coin, the D-mint mark, which denotes that the coin was minted in Denver, is slightly offset or placed in an incorrect location, creating an error that makes it even more valuable. This error is rare enough to significantly increase the coin's worth in the auction market, especially when the coin is in good condition. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar has a mintage of about 246 million coins, which seems like a lot, but because of the specific error and the coin's unique status in the series, only a limited number have survived in error-prone conditions, making it highly valuable to collectors who are looking for rare specimens. A 1972 silver Kennedy half-dollar in good condition, particularly with a large date and the D-era mint mark, can command an impressive auction price depending on the exact condition and rarity of the error. While typical examples of the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar might fetch around $37,000, the large date with D-era mint mark can bring in upwards of $52,000 in good condition. For coins in higher grades, like very fine or extra fine, the price can surge well into the $88,000 range. Exercise. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar was designed by Gilroy Roberts and features the iconic portrait of President Kennedy on the obverse. This design has remained largely unchanged since its introduction. The reverse of the coin displays the presidential seal, also designed by Frank Gasparo. This design choice symbolizes the national reverence for the late president and has remained a powerful symbol in American coinage. The error on this particular coin, the large date with D mint mark error, adds an additional layer of interest to collectors. Errors, in general, pique the interest of both novice and advanced collectors, and finding one that's a key piece in a widely circulated coin series, like the Kennedy half-dollar, can elevate its value substantially. The large date itself creates an unusual visual contrast with the rest of the series, making it a desirable collectible. The mint mark error, with its misplaced or off-center positioning, adds a unique twist to the piece. Collectors are particularly drawn to such anomalies as they represent imperfections that were created during the minting process. Over the years, error coins like this one have gained more attention in the coin collecting community, as they often hold a higher historical and monetary value than their flawless counterparts. Rarity plays a critical role in determining the value of a coin. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar with the large date and D mint mark error is rare due to the minting mistakes and the difficulty in finding these coins in high-grade condition. Many of the coins were heavily circulated and thus bear significant wear. As a result, high-quality examples of this error are quite limited. and their rarity is a driving force behind their higher value. The market demand for such rare coins has been steadily growing. The rise in interest for coin errors and the increasing number of collectors eager to complete their Kennedy half-dollar collections has driven the prices of error coins, particularly the 1972 large date with date mint mark error, even higher. Auctions for such coins have seen competitive bidding, with prices spiking at times due to the rare opportunity to acquire a coin in such condition. Next up, we have the 1947 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny, featuring a large date with an S mint mark. This coin is unique in several ways, especially considering its black coloration and dirty condition. Let's dive into why this specific coin, despite its appearance, holds considerable value in the market today. The 1947 Lincoln wheat penny was minted during the post-World War II era, a time of recovery and growth in the United States. While the U.S. economy was transitioning from wartime production to peacetime consumerism, the value of the penny remained relatively constant. The design, which features Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse, was still in circulation, and the U.S. Mint continued to produce large quantities of these coins. The 1947 penny was struck at the San Francisco Mint, as denoted by the S mint mark. Mint marks indicate where the coin was produced, and the San Francisco Mint was known for producing high-quality coins, though some issues did arise during the minting process, particularly in terms of design precision and metal alloy consistency. The defining feature of this particular coin is the large date variety. In 1947, the Mint produced 2 different styles of the year, large and small date, making the large date variety more recognizable and distinguishable. The S mint mark indicates that this coin was minted in San Francisco, adding further value. What makes this coin particularly unique is its dirty, blackened appearance, likely a result of environmental factors over time. Though many collectors would be hesitant to buy a coin in such a condition, this piece stands out to collectors who specialize in coins with unusual toning and natural aging. Typically, a 1947 Lincoln wheat penny in average condition might only be worth a few cents, and those in better condition could fetch a few dollars. However, a 1947 penny with the S mint mark and black coloration can command a significantly higher price. In terms of market value, coins like this one, due to their unique coloration and potential error markings, could fetch between $5,000s in auctions, depending on the overall market and buyer interest. The blackened color, while unusual, may be sought after by certain collectors who focus on the aesthetic appeal of toned or aged coins. The 1947 large date with an S mint mark has always intrigued collectors due to its scarcity. The black coloration and dirty condition of this coin might indicate that it has been through significant circulation, making it a highly desirable piece for those interested in coins with a unique history of wear. Errors or unusual features like blackened coins attract collectors who appreciate the beauty of coins that show the signs of age and environmental interaction. Collectors who focus on acquiring coins with distinctive color tones, such as blackened pennies, view this as a valuable addition to their collection. Additionally, the 1947 large date with S mint mark is considered a key date in the wheat penny series, making it even more valuable. 1947 Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and S mint mark in black. Dirty condition may seem far from the pristine, gleaming coins that collectors typically seek, but this coin offers something special. Whether it's the unique coloration, its status as a key date coin, or the fact that it was minted at the San Francisco Mint, collectors see it as an investment worth pursuing. So, if you own one of these coins, it might just be time to check its value in today's auction market. It could be worth more than you think. A central and crucial component of a fully automated trading system is the way in which traders' schedules make sense of their trades. It could be worth more than you think. Next up, the 1985 Kennedy half-dollar, another significant piece in the Kennedy series. This particular coin is one of the last in the series to feature the 40% silver composition, and although not minted in the same context as the 1972 coin, it still holds substantial value among collectors, especially in the large date variety. Produced by the US Mint, the 1985 Kennedy $half was issued as part of the ongoing series that had been revamped in the mid-1970s, with changes to its composition and design. However, the real standout feature of this coin is its large date variety, which was produced due to the Mint's attempt to differentiate between different years' minting processes. Though the 1985 coin is not as widely recognized for errors as the 1972, collectors have still shown a marked interest in the coin because of its larger size compared to other coins in the series. The mint mark on this version, D, denotes the Denver Mint as the source of production, and this specific coin variant in fine condition is sought after for its clear design and relatively high silver content. The 1985 Kennedy $half had a total mintage of around 19 million coins. While this seems like a relatively small number compared to earlier years, it is still widely circulated, and many examples are in various conditions. Coins in fine condition, with clear strike details and minimal damage, are much more rare and therefore much more valuable than those in poor or heavily worn states. A 1985 silver Kennedy $half in fine condition generally sells for between $200,000 in the current auction market. However, when in higher grades, the price can be considerably higher, and rarer varieties such as the large date version can fetch even more significant sums. The silver content also adds to its intrinsic value. At around 40% silver, the metal itself contributes a steady baseline value, making the coin attractive to silver collectors, especially during times when silver prices are on the rise. Just like the 1972 coin, the 1985 Kennedy $half features the same iconic portrait of President John F. Kennedy on the obverse. The reverse, with the presidential seal, remains unchanged as well. What sets this coin apart, however, is the production year and the mintage style, which includes a distinct large date variety. This difference in the date size has made it an attractive coin for those looking to complete a full set of Kennedy $half, or to specifically collect the variants produced in this period. But before these variants arrived, there has yet to be a variant of the Coles description. Collectors often find interest in these coins due to their connection to both American history and the silver market. The 1985 coin represents a significant time in American numismatics, as it marks the end of the 40% silver composition era, making it both a historical marker and a valuable commodity. While not as rare as some of the other Kennedy $half varieties, the 1985 large date with D mint mark still enjoys strong collector interest. The coin's relatively low mintage, in combination with the large date variant, has driven up its market value over the years. As more collectors become aware of the distinct features of the 1985 coin, demand for high-quality examples continues to grow. To wrap up today's exploration of valuable Kennedy $half, the 1985 large date with D mint mark offer collectors a unique opportunity to own pieces with historical significance and potential for tremendous value growth. If you're lucky enough to own one of these coins in high-grade condition, it might be time to take a closer look and potentially auction it for a significant profit. Next up, the 1952 Lincoln wheat cent with a D mint mark stands as a testament to both the artistry of coin design and the evolving history of the United States. This coin, minted at the Denver Mint, holds a special place in the hearts of collectors due to its historical significance, relative rarity in higher grades, and the valuable role it plays in completing a full set of Lincoln wheat cents. The Lincoln wheat cent series, introduced in 1909, marked a major milestone in American numismatic history. The 1952 issue was part of the later stages of this famous series, which ran from 1909 to 1958. In 1952, the United States was experiencing a post-World War II economic boom, which resulted in increased consumer demand and industrial growth. Coins from this era, particularly those minted during the early 1950s, reflect the optimism and progress of a rapidly changing nation. The prospect of survival was vital. The specific 1952 with the D Mint mark, minted at the Denver Mint, holds significance as part of the larger 1950s group of wheat cents, which collectors often focus on due to their scarcity in high grades and the intriguing history behind their production. Though this coin was circulated during its time, its value has grown considerably due to its continued popularity and relatively low number in pristine condition. What sets the 1952 D apart from others in the series is its mint mark. The D represents the Denver Mint, one of the 3 primary facilities where these coins were produced. This mint mark provides a clue to the coin's rarity, as mintages at different facilities varied over the years. The mintage of the 1952 Lincoln wheat cent with a D mint mark was a substantial 9176000 coins. While this mintage number is relatively high, what makes this coin valuable is its condition. In circulated form, it may not command a high price, but when it is found in better grades, such as extremely fine or mint state, it can fetch impressive amounts at auction. In its circulated state, you might find the 1952 D cent valued at around $55,000, depending on its wear and level of detail. However, as the coin's condition improves, so does its value. In mint state, MS65 or better prices can soar to $59,000, depending on the coin's eye appeal and the market demand at the time of sale. Coins that have been certified by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC and achieve a higher grade can reach values as high as $60,000 or more. Like many coins, the 1952 D Lincoln cent can also be found with various minting eras. Some of the most valuable examples of this coin include those with double dies, where the design elements, such as the date or inscriptions, appear doubled. Eras such as these can significantly increase a coin's market value. For instance, a well-known variety is the 1952 D Lincoln cent with a doubled die reverse. These coins are rare and highly sought after by collectors, pushing their values into the range of $100,000 or even more, depending on the extent of the era and the grade of the coin. Collectors are highly drawn to the 1952 D Lincoln wheat cent because of its place in the broader historical narrative of the United States coinage. As the final years of the wheat cent series, the 1952 coins marked the end of an era. Additionally, due to their relatively high mintage numbers, most 1952 D cents were heavily circulated, meaning that coins in higher grades are less common. This rarity makes the 1952 D a key addition to any Lincoln wheat cent collection. Coin collectors also enjoy the connection this coin has to the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, one of America's most revered presidents. The wheat cent, with its distinctive design, represents not just the country's agricultural past, but also the ongoing recognition of Lincoln's contributions to American society. Next up, the 1974 silver Kennedy half-dollar is a notable coin in the United States Mint's history for several reasons. Following President John F. Kennedy's tragic assassination in 1963, the U.S. government decided to honor the late president by issuing a half-dollar coin in his likeness. The Kennedy half-dollar was first minted in 1964, and it has remained a symbol of American pride, reflecting the nation's reverence for Kennedy's legacy. The 1974 coin, in particular, is part of a transitional period. By this time, the country had already moved away from the original 90% silver composition that the first Kennedy halves had contained, due to rising silver prices. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar was struck in a clad composition, a combination of 75% copper and 25% nickel, with a pure copper core. Although the 1974 coins were not minted in silver, the 1974 silver Kennedy half-dollar still holds a special place in the hearts of collectors due to its historical significance and the absence of silver in subsequent years. 1. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar, particularly the large-date variety, has seen a consistent increase in collector interest. What truly sets it apart is the extra fine condition, which significantly boosts its value on the market. In today's auction market, a 1974 Kennedy half-dollar in extra fine condition without a mint mark can be worth between $82,000, depending on the demand, auction house, and the specific details of the coin's grade. The value of this coin is largely influenced by its rarity in higher grades, and the fact that it was struck in vast quantities means that lower-grade versions can be found with relative ease. However, extra-fine specimens, which exhibit a substantial amount of detail but also show signs of wear, command a premium price. What makes this coin even more interesting is its connection to the period of economic challenges during the 1970s, including inflation and the transition away from silver. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar had a mintage of over 130 million coins between the Philadelphia and Denver mints. While this may seem like a large number, the coin's historical importance, its distinctive design, and the large date variety give it greater collector appeal. The mintages in general for Kennedy half-dollars were very high during this period, and this particular year is no different. However, the absence of a mint mark on coins from the Philadelphia Mint contributes to its increased demand, as many collectors view coins without mint marks as more collectible due to their rarity compared to those from Denver. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar features the same iconic design that was first introduced in 1964. On the obverse, you'll see a portrait of John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint at the time. This striking image captures Kennedy in profile, looking towards the left, symbolizing both his youthful vigor and his tragic death. The reverse of the coin features a symbolic eagle with its wings spread wide, holding a bundle of arrows and an olive branch. The eagle is a long-standing symbol of the United States, representing both strength and peace. The reverse also includes the words United States of America, E pluribus unum, and half-dollar. What's interesting about the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar with a large date is the change in the size and style of the numbers in the date compared to other years, which is one of the key distinguishing features collectors look for when identifying this variety. The large date was used only in 1974, making it one of the more desirable varieties for collectors. Collectors have long been interested in errors and variations in U.S. coinage, and the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar is no exception. One of the more significant errors associated with this coin is the double die obverse error, where the design was struck more than once, causing the details on the coin to appear doubled. Although the double die is not incredibly common for the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar, it still piques collector interest and can increase the value of the coin significantly. While the double die obverse error is rarer, the large date variety still holds strong collector interest. This coin has become a focal point for Kennedy half-dollar collectors who seek to complete sets of every year, mint mark, and variety. Additionally, the historical significance of Kennedy himself adds to the coin's appeal, as many collectors purchase this piece to commemorate one of the most iconic figures in American history. In recent years, the auction value of a 1974 silver Kennedy half-dollar in extra fine condition has seen steady demand. In 2023, a coin in XF condition fetched around $20 to $25 at reputable auction houses. However, this price can fluctuate based on factors such as auction house reputation, market demand, and the condition of the coin. Coins with higher grades, such as AU almost uncirculated or MS mint state, can push the value into the $50 to $100 range. It's also important to note that while the 1974 Kennedy $50 with a large date isn't as rare as some other minting years, its absence of a mint mark from the Philadelphia Mint and its extra fine condition make it a sought-after piece in the world of coin collecting. Next up, the 1937 Abraham Wheat 1-cent coin is part of the famous series designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. The Abraham Lincoln Wheat Cent series, which ran from 1909 to 1958, was the first series to feature President Abraham Lincoln's image on the obverse, making it a landmark in U.S. numismatic history. This particular coin, minted in 1937, stands out due to its rarity and the important historical context of the Great Depression era. The identification process of the coin sets the standard for what is known about the person. The 1930s, particularly 1937, were a time of economic recovery following the depths of the Great Depression. The U.S. Mint produced large quantities of pennies to meet the everyday demand for small change. Yet some coins, like the 1937 with the S mint mark, remain rare due to their low mintage and the survival rate of coins from that era. Coins produced during times of hardship, especially those still in circulation after so many decades, hold a special allure for collectors. The 1937 Abraham Wheat 1-cent with an S mint mark has shown a significant increase in value over recent years. In circulated condition, this coin can be valued at approximately $22,000, depending on the overall wear and the level of detail still visible on the coin. However, this figure can fluctuate based on market conditions, demand, and the rarity of the coin being offered at auction. Coins in finer grades, such as very fine or extremely fine, see their values skyrocket into the hundreds of dollars. Mint state coins with high-grade preservation could fetch thousands in auctions, as collectors look for high-quality examples for their collections. Auction prices can also vary depending on the provenance of the coin, with rare examples from prestigious collections commanding premium prices. The 1937 Abraham Wheat 1-cent with an S mint mark was struck at the San Francisco Mint, which played a critical role during the 1930s in minting coins for the U.S. population. The 1937 mintage is notable for its relatively modest output compared to other years in the 1930s. While the mintage for this particular year was substantial, the survival rate of coins from this period was low due to the wear and tear from circulation. The S mint mark on this coin signifies it was minted in San Francisco, which often had a slightly lower mintage than other mints during the 1930s. This adds to its rarity and collector appeal, as some mints produced fewer coins due to various factors, including economic downturns and changing minting priorities. While the 1937 S Abraham Wheat cent is not widely known for errors can certainly impact the value of any coin. Misstruck or off-center coins can increase the market value as collectors seek out these unique examples. Another area of interest for collectors is the quality of the strike itself. Coins with exceptional detail, particularly those with a sharp strike on Lincoln's portrait or the wheat stocks, are often valued higher. The interest in the 1937 S penny among collectors is primarily due to its historical significance and the limited number of coins that remain in good condition. Many of these pennies were used heavily in circulation, leading to their lower survival rates in fine or mint state conditions. This makes any example in above-average condition highly sought after. If you enjoyed this video, don't Next up, the 1973 silver Kennedy $50 shares much of its history with the 1974 issue, being part of the larger series of Kennedy $50 that honored the late President Kennedy. Like the 1974 coin, the 1974 Kennedy $50 was also minted in a clad composition, meaning it was made of copper nickel rather than silver. The 1973 Kennedy $50 was part of a series of coins produced in large numbers by the U.S. Mint, and although not as immediately significant as the early 1964 issues, it remains a noteworthy piece in the ongoing legacy of Kennedy-themed coinage. The 1973 issue had an even larger mintage than the 1974 coin, making it more readily available in lower grades, but still relatively scarce in higher grades. Despite its higher mintage, the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar in fine condition has become a favorite among collectors due to the historical importance of the Kennedy series and the distinct large-date variety. The fine condition grade indicates moderate wear, but still retains significant detail, making it attractive to collectors who want a coin that is not heavily worn or damaged. In today's market, a 1973 Kennedy half-dollar in fine condition without a mint mark typically fetches between $6 and $15. The value of the coin can vary depending on the auction, its condition, and the demand for specific years and varieties. The coin is still relatively affordable compared to other Kennedy half-dollar issues, but as with most US coins, rarity, condition, and historical significance are key determinants of value. The design of the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar is identical to the 1974 coin, with John F. Kennedy's portrait gracing the obverse and the eagle on the reverse. The presence of the large-date variety makes it an interesting piece for collectors who are looking to complete a set of Kennedy half-dollars from different years and mint marks. As with the 1974 coin, the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar in fine condition is sought after by collectors, particularly those looking to complete a set of Kennedy half-dollars from the 1970s. Although not as rare or expensive as some other years, the coin still commands respectable prices in today's market, reflecting its enduring appeal among collectors. 1973 Kennedy half-dollars continue to attract attention in the world of coin collecting. Their unique design, historical context, and strong collector interest make them valuable pieces to own. Whether you're an experienced collector or just starting out, these coins are a fantastic addition to any collection. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave your comments below. And as always, keep hunting for those rare treasures.